channel to this. So
Um,
everybody, this is JJ. If you guys do not follow him, he is a great follow. So JJ, if you want to go ahead and take a moment to introduce yourself, let our great audience know who you are, where they can find you, and how long you've been doing this. Because I know you're only 13, and you're making us all look bad already.
well, real quick, I just wanted to touch on the fact that you guys are mentioning the 2017 Vikings a lot. That was a team that I really have a special place in my heart for because it was a really early age that I started becoming a Vikings fan, and I feel so blessed to have been a part of watching such a great season and to see us make the playoffs, to see the Minneapolis Miracle, to see the closest thing in recent times to a Viking Super Bowl. That was one of the best experiences for me, and definitely still love the guys that were on that team. And I wish I could just tell them how much they inspired me and how much they still do. And about what I do, I'm 13 years old. My dream, obviously, is to become an NFL analyst for the Minnesota Vikings. And I like to do content on my YouTube. I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Even though I don't use that. I'm not the biggest fan of TikTok, but uh, it's my mom that manages that. But I just want to find a way to spread my content, no matter what platform it's on, because the recognition is going to come, and I do really appreciate all the support I've been getting on Twitter too. I feel like that's also a big blessing. But I did want to talk about Sam Darnold, though. I think that he can be a decent quarterback for this team. It's just that when you come into the league and you're not in the best system, it can really damage your confidence. Considering the fact that you haven't really had successful seasons as a starting quarterback for an NFL team. So what I think is, if Sam Darnold comes to Minnesota, which he already did, obviously, and sees that he has a Justin Jefferson, T. Bass, you don't have to listen to that. Uh, a Jordan Addison, a T.J. Hawkinson, and also just a run game now too, and a reliable defense. And real quick, I've trained myself to not listen to a word that T. Bass says after I heard the words "trade JJ" come out of his mouth. So I just
Well,
can't find
well,
I just
No, I
young
was getting
man,
ready to say he's a very young Viking fan. He does not experience the
yeah.
pain and the anguish that we all have.
Trust me, JJ. If you were up here, you would hear that a lot. You would hear that a lot. I got a deal right now with. I mean, like I said, there are Viking fans here in the Twin Cities that aren't cheering for the team because Kirk Cousins is no longer with them.
Well,
So,
sorry to say this, Uncle Tony. I do miss Kirk a little bit, but I still will always be a Vikings fan, no matter which players we have, no matter which players we don't have, because I've solidified myself to wear purple and nothing but purple.
oh yeah, I mean,
Well, purple is the color of royalty, so
yeah,
I wish our team could match that color, could match that symbol.
Well, it is
You
kind of
know,
funny how pretty much all of the teams that have worn purple or have
but
pretty much won. You know,
I
except for the
am
basketball
I
team.
am also pretty excited about Aaron Jones. I think that's a pretty good free agent signing in terms of we need a running game, and Aaron Jones has shown that he definitely can run the football. And if there is a chance that Sam Darnold isn't good, he'll have Aaron Jones to rely on. But I do want to see something good come out of Sam Darnold, though.
Well, here's the
You know
thing,
what?
though, too. We got to look at. We also have to now that KOC has got these weapons. He's got to prove that he can call a good offense. He still doesn't run the ball enough for me.
You know what irritates me? Can you guys hear me?
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
we got you now.
Okay, yeah, like Packers fans always accuse us of taking their leftovers, and I'm like, dude, you guys keep pissing the players off that they come over to us to spite you. Maybe treat your players better, so when they leave, they just go somewhere else.
Well, they could have kept Dean Lowry.
Yeah, they can have
You
him
know?
back.
They could have kept Dean Lowry. That's all I gotta say.
It's like we're not taking your leftovers. You keep treating them like shit that they feel that they need to come to Minnesota just to fight you guys.
$10 in the swear jar for Sarah.
Well, Sarah, Sarah, we've been robbing the Bears player or practice squad guys for the last couple of years. That's how bad it is. Tonga and that Duke Shelley. They can't even make the Bears team, and we signed them to our team.
I wish we still had Duke Shelley. I wish we had Duke Shelley because he really proved he really proved in Week 10 when he had that pass breakup preventing the game-winning touchdown to Dawson Knox in the Vikings-Bills game with that crazy ending and the overtime win. I think Duke Shelley was a big part of that and was an unsung hero for the last 7 games of the 2022 season.
Hold on real quick, JJ.
What do you do on the Raiders?
Hold on. My mom is
out of the league now?
everybody. Mama Catch is going to bed.
Oh, bye, Mama
Sunday.
Catch. Good night.
Sunday is my mom's birthday.
Ooh.
Happy birthday, Mom.
So,
Happy birthday,
Mom.
Happy birthday.
so she's going to be 25 for the 30th time. So
25th time is a charm, I hear.
Is that something you say to make yourselves not sound old?
yeah,
I just embrace it. I just
men don't care when they get old. Women, they kind of fight the old age.
women will be 25 until they're 90.
After a certain age, you don't care anymore. You just know that you're in your 30s or you're in your 40s. I'm 40-something.
I'm 48, so that can kind of give you an idea of my mom's age. So she was over she was around 23, I think, around there when she had me. So I'm not gonna put the number out there. Y'all can figure it out.
Don't do it, Catch. Don't even get in, Catch. You're screwing up.
I heard the Lions corner Cam Sutton was doing Cam Sutton O.J. Simpson earlier.
Yeah, they finally.
That'd be a hell of a documentary.
Was he in the white Bronco at least?
No, I think he was in a little faster car.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think he was in a little faster car. And the Lions let him go right away.
Oh yeah. They cut him before the chase was over. I mean,
Let's cut to the chase, they say.
Yeah.
So, what's your guys' take on J.J. McCarthy? Because here's mine. Looking at actual NFL analysts and scouts, not YouTube creators that are click whores, and realizing that there's a lot of Michigan fans out there, so they put positive videos out about JJ. Everybody I still see have him between 25 and 30, and it's worrying me that we're going to actually trade off 3 first-round picks to move up to get a guy that's just a way overreach for me.
Well,
they're all in overreach.
According to Albert Breer, there was a report from Albert Breer. The top 3 teams are not gonna trade their pick, but
so the Vikings
they could just be saying that to sweeten the pot a little bit from Minnesota. Is what I'm thinking.
I feel sorry for whoever goes into the Patriots system. Ooh, boy, are they set up to fail.
Oh, KJ Osborne.
So that's a huge miscalculation by Kwesi if he traded those picks, get the 23rd, expecting to move up to one of the top 3 spots now, but he's got closed doors. I would think you would have had something worked out already. But
it could be a initial deal we know about.
So JJ, you're in Massachusetts. What are they saying in Patriot land about that? Do they want to stay at 3? Do they want to trade? I know they're pissed off because the Patriots aren't in the Super Bowl and the playoffs every year now. They're spoiled, rotten fans. But what are they saying? What's the temperature around there?
They do
I
not
don't
get to
care what they
complain
say.
for 20
I really
years,
don't care what
okay?
they say.
No, but I'm saying, what is their thoughts on it? Like, as far as trading, staying, do they want to trade out from what they're saying? Because I know they have insiders that go on the local
I wish I
station.
could tell you, but most of the Pats fans in my area don't even know football. They're just Pats fans because of Tom Brady, because they know it's Tom Brady.
I can tell you, I've been listening to Patriot podcast. Most of them want to take a quarterback. One of the guys that I think he's pretty well-known podcaster or broadcaster. I don't know, Tom Curran, whoever he is. He was saying that the Patriots should not draft a quarterback to come in and be the savior
They have
because
too many
there's
holes.
nothing for the quarterback to, he's not set up to succeed. They have no O-line. They have no weapons. They don't have anything. And so it's just going to be another situation like Mac Jones, and he's just going to be traded in 3 years because there's nothing. And they should build first and then plug a quarterback in. But all these Patriots fans are like, no, they just need to get the quarterback. Their roster's not that bad. They're not that bad. All they need is a quarterback, and they will be back in the mix. I'm like, man, are you guys?
Their roster is
They're the
terrible.
AFC version of the Panthers.
Yeah, their roster is terrible for the
By the way,
Patriots.
Well,
you guys,
yeah, but ain't that the common theory of fans? Get your quarterback and then build a team around them.
No, but I mean, their roster is horrible.
I mean, that's the theory.
That's
Get
the theory.
quarterback and then build a team.
Here's the problem with that. See, and you can blame football for that. You can blame college. You can blame the NFL. The thinking with football nowadays is you can build a team around a quarterback and a wide receiver. Yeah, you know how you do that? That's fantasy football. In the real football world, you build the trenches first. You build outward. It's very simple. It's not difficult. You've got a the whole way
That's
of
why I've been not
fantasy
real
football.
big on taking a quarterback this year.
so
Real quick, why do Vikings fans, like the ones who don't really study history as much? I'm not gonna talk about Uncle Zell, but why do they keep saying I don't care what the Vikings did in the 50s? Like they keep on saying the 50s when we became a team in what, 64?
61.
61, yeah.
But the fact
So,
that you know that
like,
Zoe doesn't speak.
That to me is
By the way, speaking of this real quick, did you guys see Yale beat Auburn?
No.
Yep.
Yeah. Yale took out Auburn.
Get destroyed by UConn Sunday.
Yeah. But no.
But here's
we
the deal,
do.
JJ. A lot of Viking fans up here, even in the Twin Cities, don't realize we had a team before 1998.
Yeah.
I do.
you said some of them are your age, Uncle Tony. Your
Yeah.
age.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are my age. That's the scary part. They're my
Yeah.
age, and they don't know who Fran Tarkenton is. They don't know who the Purple People Eaters are. They don't know who Chuck Foreman is, Paul Krause, Bobby Bryant.
I
They
grew up
don't
in
know.
South Florida,
There
and I
was
know
a
more about Vikings
Minneapolis
history than
Miracle
people.
before the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how detached they are. They don't know that Mall of America was a stadium at one time, which housed the Vikings and the Twins
Yep.
and the Minnesota Kick soccer team. They're my age, and they
Here-
don't.
he-
Did you
Here-
know that the Vikings
here's what-
website that their little whenever they have like a crash, it says like oops, error, be right back, and it actually has the Metrodome crash as the picture.
I saw that.
That's really
You
cool.
guys,
I saw that.
hear what
Here-
Dion said? He said that he is not going to have his kid be drafted into a cold weather team.
Who said that?
Dion.
Deion Sanders said that?
Yeah, he does not want his son to be drafted to a cold weather team. He's not
Okay,
playing
what
for
the
a
hell
cold
is he doing
weather
in Colorado?
Yeah. Would've done that.
Speaking of Viking history,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
What's going on?
speaking of Packer players that we steal,
Oh God.
Is this prior to 1998?
Wait, I wanted to ask you guys a question, specifically Uncle Tony and Uncle Curtis. So,
Sure.
since you guys are bigger fans of the NFL in the past, which I respect because I also respect history and I tend to respect it a lot more, considering I don't want to be looked at as just a young fan who only looks at today's years. I want to know a lot more. So, what do you guys feel about the single-digit NFL rules? Do you feel like it goes against the football that you used to love? Or do you feel like it's a nice upgrade? Because to me, it makes the NFL look a lot more like college football, especially with the zero. So that's just my opinion. So I want to know.
Right, it does. You've got a lot of aspects of the NFL using college things. You're using minor league ideas. You guys are the professionals. You guys are the top of the line. You can't come up with any original ideas for the NFL. As far as the numbering system goes, 0 is an accessory, okay? It's not a real number. Now, 0 is cool. 0 is cool.
It's actually 100.
It's
I
actually
said that our quarterback that we draft next should wear number 1 to represent our first quarterback that's going to win us our first Super Bowl. So
don't curse him like that. Sarah, don't curse him like that.
So, JJ, I just want to answer that too. I'm 57, so none of the number and system bothers me. What kind of bothers me is a lot of the rule changes the last several years is so geared towards offensive.
Some of these rules are like, okay, go ahead. Like some of these rules, like the NFL today is so offensive protected, where it's like some of these rules make you feel like, okay, go ahead and remove tackling altogether while you're at it.
They also,
let me answer that number question that JJ asked real quick. As far as like the wide receivers and the running backs being any number 1 through, 1 through 49.
1 through 49, yeah.
In the 80s, I don't care about those players, but
when linebackers, defensive ends were in single digits, that's a problem.
That's where I draw. I don't think the defensive players should be wearing. If a cornerback wants to wear a single digit, that's fine. But the lineman should be between 50 to 79, and then from 90 to 99, both on the offensive and defensive line. That's just the way I look at it. But it's
So JJ,
number 6 should not be allowed.
Yeah, it would look weird as shit. It would look weird. I just swore again. Sorry. It would look weird as hell for a offensive lineman to wear like 10. Oh, that's trippy.
It looked weird for Davenport wearing 0.
Yeah.
Let me ask JJ a question. JJ, since you're a young man here, what would your feelings about if you seen a couple games this year that were 13-10? Would you call them horrible games or exciting games where teams both ran the ball 40 times a game and only threw the ball 15 times?
Like the score 13-10?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I saw that with the, for example, the snowy playoff game in the 2021 season, the Niners-Packers game. So, and the 2023 season was just so unserious, like 3-0. So I'm used to seeing like what people consider the more boring games, because I will sit through them. I do sit through Vikings games to the end. I've seen the 40-3 loss to the Cowboys. I've seen the 52-33 loss to the Saints on Christmas. I was like 10 years old. I've seen the 33-10 loss to the Packers just last season. That was the more recent blowout. So I'm used to seeing games that obviously aren't very interesting.
Well, so you don't consider a 13-10 game interesting? That's my question.
Well, I consider it interesting if teams are actually trying. Like if they're actually trying and not making it look like both want to lose the game, like both teams want to lose the game, then it'll be interesting.
So I loved the 3-0 game the Vikings had with the Raiders last year. because the defenses just totally dominated that game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Was that
I
game
mean-
boring to you because the defenses were playing so well?
No, I'm really happy for first of all, I'm very proud of Mekhi Blackman that game and Sheldon I think it was Sheldon Day, right?
Yeah.
Because Hunter Renfrow caught that ball on a screen. And I feel like if we hadn't fumbled him there, we would have lost the game. So Sheldon Day forced the fumble, Mekhi Blackman got the recovery, and if that play hadn't happened, I think we would have lost that game. Because the Raiders
Do
were
you
definitely
realize how difficult it is to shut out a team?
Especially in the NFL.
Nowadays it is. It
Yeah.
was pretty when defenses were allowed to play defense, it was pretty common. But
So-
now if you get a shutout in today's football, you need to get an award because the NFL does not want shutouts. They want as many points
Nope.
scored as
They
possible.
won 41 to 38 games. Let's go.
Yeah,
ahead.
that's
And
why I was
Brady-
asking JJ. JJ's mindset and more what's appealing to him is,
I think JJ's an old soul, even though he's a young person. I think he is.
but offense appeals to him more, and he
Yeah.
finds that.
Okay,
more.
personally, now here's the deal with me. I'm a defensive guy, live and die
Me too.
defense. I could care less about offensive players unless they're the offensive line. If you're a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, I don't care about you. And if I was playing against you, I was going to hit you whether you had the ball or not.
Let's go ahead and bring Zoe and Steve in. How you guys doing tonight?
Hi guys.
What up, though? How y'all feel?
Oh,
Feeling
did
good?
you guys
We
hear
hear-
Nick?
I'm excited for
Nick
the.
Wrong's take. He had the nerve to say that, Tua has taken the Dolphins as high as he can. So Minnesota should give up their 2 first-round draft picks and trade for Tua. I'm like, damn, he must really hate us or something. Like, why the hell would we give up our 2 first rounds to go trade for Tua? Like, what the
It's
F?
okay. First of all, Nick Wright is a hack. Okay, don't listen to anything he has to say. He's a hack.
No, it just pissed me off. Like, I was like, dang, like, do you hate us that much that, like, you want us to, like, give up our picks to go get Tua when you just said so yourself that Tua has taken the Miami Dolphins as far as he can. And so
Nick
we
Wright-
should trade our 2 picks for him? Like,
Nick-
what the F are you talking about, dude?
Nick Wright is the perfect example of what I was talking about. When Nick Wright would do his rankings, he would always put Minnesota lower because they had Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. Now the Falcons have Kirk Cousins as their quarterback, and he has them as one of the favorites in the NFC. That's the example of what I am talking about with Minnesota being hated by the media.
Yeah, they hate.
Yeah.
They hate the Timberwolves. They hate the Vikings. They hate
Yeah.
anything. Minnesota
Honestly, I
hates.
could give a crap.
The
what
only team
media-
that gets any respect is the Wild because it's hockey and hockey fans understand what Minnesota means to hockey. But other than that, yeah.
Well, here's a problem with Tua too. He is one concussion away from his career being over.
Oh, definitely.
It's like we just.
He reminds me
we
of Jim
just,
McMahon.
Yeah,
We just got rid of a older Tua who like will take his team. During the regular season, he will play good and he will have all these stats and blah 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 blah. But when it comes to the postseason, he can't do nothing. And so we just got rid of him. So we should go sign a younger one instead. I don't think so. We're gonna have to pay him that contract. No.
Yeah.
And
I
you-
like Tua, but not for that price.
and Kirk wasn't Kirk. And here's the thing with Kirk. Kirk wasn't going to take an extension. He wanted more money.
Yeah.
He had already turned the Vikings down, so that tells you right there he wasn't a team player.
Oh
He
yeah,
wasn't.
like he
No.
won't even pay to get number 8. He's just gonna wait a year.
I just don't get how I just don't get how if you're looking through the eyes of Kirk, you see how many offensive weapons you have, and that you may have one more season to try and win because you see what you accomplished before you got hurt. So why go to a lesser team? Like a lesser team like Atlanta. Yes, I will say a lesser team. We beat them with a Josh Dobbs. So nothing against Josh Dobbs, obviously. But if you go to you want to go to a lesser team like Atlanta and take more money rather than take less money to win a game with a team that you have offensive weapons. Because earlier in the season, Jordan Addison wasn't getting touchdown receptions without Kirk, and Justin Jefferson obviously supports Kirk. So why doesn't Kirk see that and take less money just for one or two more seasons, maybe just one, to try and actually go and win?
Because he had it already set where he wants the bag.
Yeah.
It ain't about winning with Kirk. It's about getting what you can get right now.
I heard you call Johnny Manziel, and
Because I thought he said that he was already financially set. I thought he said that,
He is financial. They're all financially set if they save their money.
I mean, come on. With this contract is over with the Falcons, he'll made $330 million just from his NFL career. That's second behind Brady.
More money than Tom Brady with no rings. That's
Yeah,
why I said,
yes.
we ain't paying him no more. No, I ain't doing that again because you know what? We guaranteed 6 years of his contract and we got no Super Bowl. We should get some money back.
And they offered
Players are going to want their money.
They offered him 2 more years guaranteed as well.
If you're going to take guarantee money and you don't guarantee a Super Bowl, then we should get half of it back.
And Arthur Blank is going to pay. He's going to pay as much as he can now. He's getting older. He wants to get back to another Super Bowl.
Well, and then the way they were talking, they're talking about like Atlanta, like, oh, look at all the weapons Atlanta has. Like, you guys act like we were like we didn't provide Kirk with anything. Like, what the hell?
What's Kirk Cousins with Aaron Jones this year?
What's a Drake London to a Justin Jefferson? What's a Kyle Pitts to a TJ Hawkinson? Like, I don't understand all that.
Well, it's funny you say that because when they list all the Falcons like weapons, he has so many weapons in Atlanta. Well, they mentioned 1 wide receiver, they mentioned 1 tight end, and they mentioned 1 running back. Well, Vikings, he had 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, and now that they have Jones, if I'm a quarterback, I'm looking at the Falcons and I'm looking at the Vikings. I'm like, I'd rather have the Vikings weapons than what the Falcons have.
They're also going by 2 because, and I've said this before, Kirk is a good quarterback. Kirk will get the ball,
The division week.
There you go, Tony.
But
there you go, Tony. Calling Kirk a good quarterback.
No, they're with the NFL.
I give him respect. He's a good quarterback, but guess what? He's gonna with London and Pitts getting the ball from Kirk is gonna look a lot different than him getting the ball from Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
The thing with the NFL is, a lot of it today is run by PFF and all the statistics to try and hype up the fans whenever they sign a player who sometimes isn't as good as their rankings say they are. And sometimes I hate to say it. Actually, no, I love to say it. Their rankings don't always translate to how they play on the field. It's not ever.
Here's the thing with PFF. Everybody, and this is the problem we got with NFL teams now. You've got most people are analytics people, and so now they go up because PFF is like their gospel. PFF is not even proven. It's not a proven scientific thing. You've got a bunch of guys who don't
prepared for Jefferson's stats to suffer the next few years.
So. But here's the thing with Jefferson. If his stats suffer, but the team is winning.
Oh yeah, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I could care less.
Why are you all for the team with Justin Jefferson if you want to trade him, T-Bass?
I'm all for them winning, but I don't see them going anywhere with giving Justin Jefferson a huge contract. I don't think wide receivers are worth that. JJ, that's the thing. I'm an old school mentality. You are all about offense. You're a young man that cares. You want to see a video game in real life. I don't care about that. I would rather get a bunch of picks and build a quality team without having to worry about
around Justin Jefferson.
But see, you're a little bit different, T-Bass, but there's other people out there who don't want to pay Justin Jefferson because they don't want to pay anybody. There are players, you have to pay players a high amount of money. You have to.
I think the Vikings
I'm not saying you're that person, T-Bass, but there are people out there who don't want to give Justin Jefferson $45 million because they don't want to give any player that much money.
I don't think the Vikings would have
Jefferson $45 million.
No, I was just using $45 million as an example. I'm not, I was just,
First of all, it's bad enough your quarterback's all that money.
Top guy top money. I have a problem paying a mediocre guy top money.
Right.
Oh, you mean like
I
Because,
just
guys,
think
there are people
also
out there. There are people out there who don't want to pay any players any money. They all think they should all
if-
make around, $4 or $5 million. It just does not work that way.
if the Vikings are true, if
They have like the most cap space, and they didn't sign anybody except for a bunch of like nobody.
if the Vikings are trying to trade Justin Jefferson, I'm just saying, if they are, you would be surprised. I bet you it's a very short line of teams that are lining up to get a guy that's not under contract yet, knowing that they have to pay this huge salary. It would be a very short list of teams willing to do that. Teams that are Super Bowl contenders probably would be. Other than that, if you're not a Super Bowl contender, I don't think nobody wants to take on a huge contract like that. Same with CeeDee Lamb.
The thing is, T-Bass, you said that, I heard you saying in one of the other shows that, what have we accomplished with Justin Jefferson? But I have seen, I'm not saying I'm just an offensive guy. I like to study the whole NFL. But the thing with Justin Jefferson is I feel like he is really valuable because how many how many game-winning field goals we had, how many game-winning touchdowns we've had. They've most likely come out of big catches from Justin Jefferson. So, he gets you down there. He definitely gets you down there to win.
Every year now, there's guys coming out that you can just.
But see, here's the thing, JJ. Here's the thing with Justin.
Why are teams
JJ.
trying to find a number one wide receiver for their young rookie? It's not as easy as you guys are making it out to be.
We're not making it. Here's the thing, though. Justin plays a position right now in today's NFL that those players with Justin's skill set, believe it or not, are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's not like he's not. It's not like he's got this. It's on lock. Yeah, he does some things that other receivers don't do. But trust me, I play semi-pro football. I've seen some wide receivers that will put Justin to shame. Okay, it's just who you know and who picks you. That's all it is. And in today's NFL, with the way coaching is and the way that offensive football is, you are always going to have wide receivers coming out of college or free or whatever that with the right quarterback, they're going to get those numbers just like JJ and for cheaper, especially in today's NFL.
I mean, I'm not saying the guy is terrible.
All these teams are looking for that number one wide receiver to help develop their young quarterback, and we're trying to get rid of ours so that he can go help develop somebody else's quarterback.
But here's
shouldn't
the
we
thing:
need him to develop our quarterback?
They still got Addison.
Addison proved he wasn't a number one, though.
The best way to help a young quarterback, and I've said it before,
Run the ball.
Run the ball. It's not.
And a good defense. And a good defense.
Yes. There's nothing
And a
wrong.
good defense.
There is nothing wrong with playing ball control in football. Nothing, especially when you've got a young defense. There's nothing wrong with playing ball control.
So everybody's so high on J.J. McCartney. What did he do in Michigan? He came from a system that ran the ball and played a great defense, and he was successful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo.
Running the ball is very important, and that brings me back to week 8 of 2023. If you're Kevin O'Connell, you got to see Kirk got hurt. You shouldn't pass it anymore. You have a 14-point lead, and you have a young quarterback like Jaren Hall coming into the game. His first career regular season start as a Minnesota Viking, and you have him, what was it, a fake toss in his own end zone. So you're making him run back into his own end zone on a passing down when you have a reliable running back like Cam Akers, who in that same game got you your first regular season rushing touchdown. And yet somehow KOC's not running the ball. I just feel like KOC just sometimes just doesn't do the obvious, And
he tries to out McVay, and he's not.
He the problem.
Yeah, he's got to come up with his own identity.
Going on that comment, to piggyback off that comment you just made, JJ. My biggest issue with KOC last year was when he tried to make Joshua Dobbs into Kirk Cousins.
Oh my God, that hurt me to watch. That was just like
I'm happy
because
you said that. I'm gonna
when
tell
you
y'all
when,
this much. Go ahead, JJ.
thank you. I want KOC to understand Josh Dobbs is who he is. You cannot change that. It doesn't matter how you feel about him using his legs to extend plays. If it's what needs to get done, let it get done. I just feel like KOC tries to do it his way a lot, but in a way that doesn't actually help the situation. And I don't want to take anything away from KOC.
How many times he fumbled the ball when he was running the ball?
Well, here's the problem I had too. Remember when we played Denver, we had that 4th and short early in the game, and he basically puts Hawkinson behind center.
Oh, that dumb trick play!
In the high formation, he runs a trick play on 4th and inches.
So like it's 4th and inches, and you run like a trick play. I think Hawkinson flipped it back to Dobbs. You're setting Dobbs in a position to get whammed.
He did, and he did. Jackson whammed him, and I think it was concussed.
Or
I think that's why he was seeing ghosts in Week 12 at Monday Night Football, throwing all those picks.
Powell as a tush pusher.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have, Brandon Powell doing the tush push. Like you could have had anyone else, anyone stronger, CJ Ham, TJ Hawkinson, anyone bigger and stronger to push.
Well, that play was due from the start anyway because they ran right over Bradbury.
Not only that, Kirk Cousins is not. He is probably the worst quarterback in the NFL doing quarterback sneaks.
You ain't lying.
That's why we need to get a big butt center.
Hey, I'll tell y'all this. Josh Dobbs, mark my words. When Josh Dobbs come in for Brock Purdy this year, he won't look nothing like he did in Minnesota.
No, he won't.
Yep.
No, he won't.
He's the new backup
That's the
in
Viking
San
way.
Fran.
It's the Viking way.
Viking way, man.
You keep saying that. What did Kyle Shanahan do with Trey Lance? Nothing. He was a failed experiment.
Well, to be honest,
what they got to do with Dobbs?
That's
Trey
Lance. This is Josh Dobbs.
We talking about Dobbs.
Shanahan, like he's so great, and
But-
I'm saying, look what he did with Trey Lance. Nothing.
Trey Lance only
wasn't
played
no
5
good
games in
quarterback.
college, though. Trey Lance only played 5 games in college.
Yeah, he ain't play college football.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Shanahan is when it comes to like being a quarterback.
Be right back, guys.
I don't think Shanahan is as great as people make him out to be. He makes a lot of mistakes as a head coach.
I feel you, but shit, I tell you what, they know how to run the football team.
Yeah, not when he was in Atlanta.
Exactly.
28-8. The only reason they lost that 28-3 lead was because
They didn't run the damn ball.
they didn't run the damn ball. Someone did a breakdown of that game. If the Falcons would have ran the ball 4 times, they would have won that game because the Patriots would not have had enough time to come back. Just 4 times. They
And
would have ran it.
that's what I'm talking about. Like, people are just like praising Shanahan like he's just this like great offensive mind. When I'm like, you know what? He has his faults too. And 28-3 showed me that he is not that great of offensive genius as everybody makes it out to be. And the 2 Super Bowls that he was in, that he had leads as 49ers, and he still lost.
You know it was going to be scary as the Rams.
But people are praising him like he's like the best thing ever.
That's because for the past 10 years he been running the NFC.
But he hasn't won anything either.
He still is.
So the goalpost keeps moving. Then
That just tells you how weak the NFC is, though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Honestly, though, Kyle Shanahan, even when he does get his act together, let's say in the playoffs, he still has to face Andy Reid, who he's never beaten in the playoffs.
Exactly. A great head coach.
A lot of people could say they haven't beaten Andy Reid in the playoffs.
Like
the only 2 coaches that have beaten Andy Reid is what? Bill Belichick and Zach Taylor in the playoffs.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's the only quarterback to beat Mahomes in the playoffs.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. Joe Burrow and Tom Brady are the only two.
Yep. Tom Brady beat him in the Super Bowl, and
Because he's
Burrow beat him
0-2
in the.
against Brady.
A lot of people are 0-2 against Brady,
You know,
except for Eli. For some reason, Eli is 2-0. Figure that one out.
Another thing, like
Eli was terrible against everybody else, but he beat Brady.
It's
Yeah.
that karma thing. Like, we can't have him beating both Mannings. So one of the Mannings has to at least
Is
make up
Stevie's in here?
for
He
it.
hasn't said nothing.
I'm just listening.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. No, I was saying earlier. Like, get this. So I heard in a podcast the other day. I was like so shocked. You know how I had a problem with Kirk not working on Tuesdays, right? Well, I heard in a podcast when JJ first came into the league, JJ had contacted Kirk to get together with him during the summers to throw the ball and all that so that they can have be on the same page and all that. And Kirk's response was that no, he's gonna spend time with his family. And
Well, he doesn't
he's
work
not-
on Tuesday. What makes you think he's going to work there in the off season?
Exactly. That's what I said. This dude does not want to win because he's never done anything that shows that he wants to win. When
Shit, I ain't mad at him. Shit.
no, so I'm just saying, I don't know why people keep thinking he's gonna take a team to the Super Bowl. That's just BS.
Mm-hmm.
So, Steve,
Yeah.
what do you think about the Aaron Jones situation? Do you think the Packers did him wrong, or
No. I mean, it is what it is. And like I said, for him to sit there, it's like one, he's going to be 30, 31.
No, he 29.
He's 29.
Wow. Okay. But he's going to be.
Yeah, we all get older. That's just life.
Well, the thing is, what I'm saying is that, I think Goody saw that last year he didn't, he missed some time, and I think as older he was getting, I think he wanted to get younger, and so
Yeah,
forth.
most-
And
But I don't
Jones, I know Jones took it personally. I understand. I heard all these riffraffs, different comments from so many people about whatever, and it is what it is. I mean, it is like I heard Sarah say earlier that we mistreat these players, and then they try to get back at us by going to Minnesota. Well, hey, go. I wouldn't be a bit surprised. I've been saying this, I think this is going to be Kenny Clark's last year with us, and I wouldn't be surprised next year. I'm just going to tell all you Viking fans right now, be prepared to get Kenny Clark on your defense next year.
I'd take him.
I will say from an outsider's point of view, Gutekunst is much more cutthroat than the last GMs the Packers have had.
Who was the last
Aaron
GM?
Jones just
Well,
seems like that guy who will go with another.
Well, one, he wants to stay young, and Clark is the last guy from the Ted Thompson regime. He's the last guy on the Packers team from the Ted Thompson regime.
when
That's-
did Gudick his whatever his name is take over?
And I think that's another reason why I think he's going to be
20
gone.
2019, I think he took over.
Oh, yeah, 2019.
Yeah. And I think that's another reason why. And that's why I'm looking somewhere in this draft. I don't know if it's going to be the first pick, second pick. I don't know. I can see them looking for Kenny Clark's replacement for next year.
What position does he play?
He's a defensive tackle.
He's
On the defensive line.
a nose tackle, three technique.
What I
Yeah.
mean by him being more cutthroat is that he would have never put up with the shit that Brett Favre did.
No.
Because
Well,
he
the
did-
thing,
Aaron
well,
Rodgers is probably better than Brett. Probably better than Brett Favre.
Goody also wants to go back and wants to start to do what Ron Wolf had done back in the day. I guess it said that in this draft, I think in the later rounds, he's going to draft maybe one or two quarterbacks. He wants now. There's rumor and talks I saw on some podcast that they might trade for Zach Wilson. Then again, they might get Tannehill to come in to back up Jordan Love. But there is talk that the two guys that they like in the draft is what's his name from Tulane and
Pratt?
Spencer.
Pratt.
Yeah, Michael Pratt. Thank you, and Spencer Rattler. So, like I said, it's to see like what happens. But this is what he wants to go back to, like when back in the day when we drafted both Brian Braum and Matt Flynn, when that whole Favre debacle shit. Oh, retire. No, I'm coming back. Retire. I'm coming back. You know what I mean? He retired. Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy was in Florida. And then when Favre found and heard that they was going to, or when they did draft Flynn and Braum, he called him up and says he wants to come back. And that pissed off Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy. And that's when they was done with it.
Yeah, you guys have enough draft picks. You might as well.
Somebody getting out of their car?
Well,
They got 11 draft picks. They can afford to draft 2 quarterbacks.
well, I don't think we're going to use all. I think we're going to trade up. I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to trade up into the earlier in the first. I don't know. Or do we trade back, get more picks, and then use those to bounce around in the later rounds to get the guys maybe that they want on what's on the board. However, because really
11 is not enough.
well, we're not going. I don't think we'll have 11 by the end of the draft time. I think we might maybe have 8, maybe not. I mean, who knows? 7, 8. I don't think we're going to have a full 11 picks. He's going to do some moving around, up and back and forth, up and back, up and back. See, that's like I was telling you so many days ago, Sarah, about the Vikings, and a bunch of us was talking the other day. And if the Vikings trade up to get a quarterback, I mean, I hope they do, because no offense though, I hope they do. And they lose draft capital. Gonna lose them picks for a quarterback. And all I want to say is, Viking fans better hope this quarterback pans out. They better hope this quarterback pans out, that they traded all this draft capital for whatever it is. Now, I want to throw another thing here. It's kind of tickling me funny that it's the Chargers that I see that could be the team they trade up with to get McCarthy. If that happens, why do I have this feeling there's something else that's going to happen with them in the Chargers?
What, JJ?
It's probably Jefferson.
Not JJ. I think, is Harbaugh going to want McCarthy and pick maybe some up? And like I said, he can get extra picks by letting the Vikings trade up and then somehow make a deal with the Vikings to get McCarthy. Like, would he really? I mean, now you guys.
First of all, he can't do that, because guess what? He could sign McCarthy, but the Chargers have already invested $100 million into Herbert.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
think if Herbert's contract wasn't such a big contract, like if they didn't have to take a $90 million hit, I could see the Chargers trading Herbert to Minnesota for their 11-23, like a first-round pick next year, and they drafted JJ.
Now, I heard you guys say, I think your last podcast, that some of the Vikings they're high on Drake May.
Yeah, they're high on Drake May. That's
everything.
Not even a joke. That's not even a
with all the
put it out there that
coaches,
they're high on Drake
with
May.
all the coaching signings and some of the scouts they have in the organization, there's ties to Drake May. Yes.
Yep.
Real quick, gonna sign off now, but I wanted to thank you guys for having me on. It was an absolute blessing to come on here, and obviously,
anytime, JJ.
Anytime, nephew, anytime.
In the draft, last thing in the draft, my opinion is I like this order: Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, Drake May, and even Michael Penix. That's my order.
You don't like Bo Nix?
Does anyone?
Why don't nobody like Bo Nix though?
I think the homeless guy who lives on the other side of the track said something about Bo Nix the other day.
Yeah, I mean, don't nobody like Bo Nix. That's crazy.
Do you like Bo Nix though?
Nah, I really don't like. It
Well,
really don't matter to me.
A buddy of mine in New York, he's a Giants fan. He says if the Giants draft McCarthy, he's done.
But
Yeah, and the
hey,
Giants-
JJ, we will be
They're
doing
up.
like Viking. We will be doing not mock draft, but we'll do doing draft shows coming up for the draft and stuff like that. So go ahead and are you in the WhatsApp app and all that? Or
I think I have WhatsApp. Yeah, I do.
okay, and then also on Twitter, if you look at my name on Twitter, it's Catch84. I got a picture of my dog Pepsi on there. He's brown. He's a tan and white dog. Go ahead and send me a private message on that, and we can communicate back and forth like when we're going to do shows and stuff like that.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Did you
Take care,
guys
you.
take care, JJ?